Hello everyone, this is Komal, and today we are going to discuss the topic of class 10th, chapter number 6, natural vegetation. So in this chapter we will discuss further topics. Firstly, the natural vegetation, then importance of forest. This chapter is totally based on the forest area, what type of vegetation we are getting in India region. All these things are discussed in this chapter. So then importance of forest, types of vegetation, tropical, evergreen, tropical deciduous, tropical desert, littoral and mountain, distribution and their correlation with the environment, forest conservation. So here is the topic. What is the natural vegetation of India? Among the most valuable resources of India, its magnificent forests play a very important role in its climate as well as the economic development. For the economic development and for the climatic changes, our forest area is very much responsible for the changes which are happening in economic area and in the climatic area. Forests are our renewable resources which we can generate after again and again and help in the maintaining ecological balance, reduce pollution, maintain humidity, purify air. These are the advantages of mountains. Purify air and are a source of timber, fruits, flowers and fuel. All these are the importance, or you can say habitation for the wildlife, for the flora and fauna both. According to the State of Forest Report 2013, the total forest cover of the country is 69.09 million hectare. That is the 22% of total geographical area of the country. That means you can say that on 22% of land area in India, we are getting forests. The National Forest Policy has laid down a target of raising the area covered by forest in India is to be 33.3%. They want to increase it. Then, as per the experts' opinion, the minimum area of forest necessary for a tropical country like India should be about 1/3 of the total area. They are giving the actual census that according to our population, it should be necessary that 1/3 of our total area it should be a forest. Then, unfortunately, due to the unprecedented growth in the population rate, which much of our own natural vegetation cover has been removed because of the intense need to be bring more and more land under the cultivation. We need cultivable area, so that's why we are not having that much forest. That is the exact need. Now, the next thing is there are several things which are responsible for the destruction of forest, like pollution, overpopulation, all these things we will discuss later. Then the environmental factors affecting natural vegetation. How the natural vegetation of India depends mainly on the rain and relief. On the two basic factors, we are getting the natural vegetation. On the relief, that means the land part, or on the basis of rain, that means the monsoon. The type of vegetation corresponding to the amount of rainfall received, and there are two factors on which the type of natural vegetation and its distribution depended upon. These are the two vegetation factors, distributive factors: variation in the amount of rainfall and variation in the relief. Variation, that means the change in amount of rainfall and change in the relief, or the ups and downs which are happening every year. Now, the main types of natural vegetation, these are the main categories of natural vegetation, very important, and we will discuss all these types one by one. The natural vegetation of India can be classified into the following categories. These are the categories. Forest based. First one, forest based on the variation of rainfall. According to the rainfall, the tropical evergreen forest, deciduous monsoon forest, desert and semi-desert vegetation, thorn and scrub forest. Now, the next thing is forest based on the variation of relief. Two types: mountain forest or mixed forest, and the mangrove or the tidal littoral forest. Now, the first type, the forest based on the variation of rainfall. The first type, tropical evergreen forest, we are going to discuss. All these things you have to make the brief description of all these types, and you can learn from that. The first one is the climate point. Climate. What type of climate is needed in the tropical evergreen area? 25 degree to 27 degree Celsius temperature, and rainfall is more than 200 centimeter. Then the area in which we are getting the tropical evergreen forests are found on the western parts of Western Ghats, that are the parts of Maharashtra, Karnataka, Kerala, and the eastern Himalaya, that are the Terai regions, and the northeastern India, Lushai, Khasi, Jaintia, Garo, known as the Assam Hills or the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. All these are areas on which we are getting tropical evergreen forest. Now, generally they are found on the altitude ranging from the 500 meter to 1500 meter on the windward or the western side of the Western Ghat. Now, what are the characteristics or the importance of these kind of forests? They are found in the areas of heavy rainfall, so they are also known as the rainforest. Then next, their thick ground cover of forest is characterized by the climbers and epiphytes, that are the bamboo and ferns are also common. Then as they do not shed their leaves at the same time, they remain evergreen and are called the tropical evergreen forest. This is very important. They are not shedding leaves collectively at time of interval. They are shedding their leaves, so that's why they are evergreen for a whole year. Now, evergreen forests have been properly exploited due to the dense undergrowth and lack of transport facilities. So that's why they are very thick. Now, what are the species we are getting in these type of forest? First one is rosewood trees. These are hard, fine-grained and durable. They are also used to making expensive furniture, and they are mainly found in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka side. Now, the next type of species is sesame. This is a hardwood and is used for making expensive furniture. Third type is gurjan. That is a house building, railway sleepers and furniture we are making from this type of tree. Then it is found in the West Bengal, Andaman and Nicobar and Himalayan region. Then other species are found toon, bamboo, jamun and canes, etc. Now the second type of forest, that is a monsoon on the basis of rainfall, that is a deciduous monsoon forest or tropical deciduous forest. The climate they are getting 24 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius and rainfall between 150 to 200 centimeter. Areas in which we are getting these type of forests are UP, Odisha, MP, Bihar, Manipur, Tripura, Mizoram, Assam, Nicobar, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Then these are the characteristics. Characteristic first is they are shedding their leaves for about 6 to 8 months during the spring and early summer during the March, when sufficient moisture for leaf is not available due to the less availability of moisture. Then the subsoil water is not enough for the trees to retrain their leaves. This is the second reason for this. Then by April, the deciduous trees look almost bare. That means they are shed almost each and every leaf. So that's why they look bare. The forests of north temperate zone shed their leaves in autumn. Then these are most important economically as they yield valuable timber and several other forest products. They occupy much larger areas than the evergreen forest. Deciduous monsoon forest have trees found in the pure stands. Now, species. What type of species they are mainly getting? Like sal, teak, mahua, kheer, pallas, mango, neem, jackfruit, semel and myrobalan. You can read all these types by your own. Now, the next is desert and semi-desert vegetation. What is this? In this, we are getting the temperature between 25 to 27 degree and rainfall that is very less than 25 centimeter, very less. So that's why this area is totally barren. Desert and semi-desert type of vegetation is found in Kutch, Saurashtra, southwest Punjab, Rajasthan and dry part of the Deccan area. Now the characteristics, the plants that grow in this type of vegetation are called the xerophytes, and that is they are either have very thin leaves or no leaves. They are having pricks or thorns, you can see. Their stems and leaves are often covered by sharp spines or thorns. Then they are having long roots to draw water as the rainfall is very scarce. So they are having very long roots which are gone underground under the earth so that they can get water from inside. Thick fleshy stems to store water during drought condition. These are the species of this kind of desert forest: babool, khair, then gum, khair tree, which are from which we are getting gum and bark also provided for the materials. Then next is scrub and thorn forest. This is the category under the desert and semi-desert vegetation. For this, temperature we are getting from 25 to 30 degrees Celsius and rainfall less than 100 centimeter. Areas which in which we are getting this type of vegetation: Rajasthan, Western Haryana, that is the mainly northwest part, Kutch and Western Punjab. Now, these are the characteristics. The vegetation found here is low scrub and stunted trees, shrubs with long roots and thorns. They are having long roots and thorn type of vegetation. Species like tapering root, thorny branches and small fleshy leaves. Khair. This is the basic type of species which we are getting in this type of forest. Now, uses. It is useful as timber and it also provide material for making dyes and tanning. Wild dates are also common in these type of areas. The next type, the important is the mountain forest, which is also called as the mixed forest based on the relief. Mountainous forests are of 2-3 types, so that's why they have written here the mixed forest. Now, climate for this type of forest, that is less than 20 degrees Celsius. That is a cool area, because mountainous area is always elevated from earth's surface, so that's why it is having less temperature than the land surface. The rainfall from 1500 to 3300 meter. Then they occur in the areas getting rainfall between, this is an altitude of an area 1500 meter to 3300 meter and rainfall between 150 to 250 centimeter. Now, areas in which we are getting the mountainous forest: the Himalayan area, Kashmir to Assam, then Nilgiri Hills, Anomalai Hills, elevation that they are having elevation from 1000 meter to 1500 meter. These are the characteristics. Mountain forest consists of mixed deciduous and coniferous trees. We are describing the characteristics of the mountain forest. So here is, they occur in the transition zone of the mixed forest and coniferous trees. Coniferous trees which are having cone-shaped leaves. Now, species: the spruce and cedar are in the north side. Eucalyptus are found in the Nilgiri Hills. They form high but fairly open forest with the scrubby undergrowth, including oaks, laurel, bamboo, poplar, birch, walnuts, elm, and cinchona. These are the types, and they have given their uses also. You can read it. Now, the tidal or mangrove or littoral type of forest. These are the 3 names for the same type of species: littoral forest, mangrove forest, or you can say the tidal forest. So here is the climatic point: 26 degree to 29 degrees Celsius temperature they need, and rainfall more than 200 centimeter. Very heavy rainfall they need. Now, the climatic part, the location. The tidal forests occur in the and around the delta regions, estuaries and creeks, and are prone to the tidal influence. And they are found in areas flooded by the tides, and these type of trees can survive in fresh and brackish water. Brackish, that is the salty water, they can survive it. So that's why this type of vegetation is very much in the flooded areas. They are having aerial roots so that they can breathe outside the water area and inside also. Areas: the tidal forest occupy a large area, about 21,000 square kilometer in the Sundarban Delta. This is the perfect location for this type of forest. And along the eastern coast, Mahanadi Delta, Godavari, Krishna, and Andaman Islands. They are also found in the western regions. So here are the characteristics of the tidal or mangrove forest. They are having breathing roots, or which act as the respiratory organs for them. Its tilt-like roots remain submerged underwater but can be seen at the low tide. And this tangled mass of roots help the plant to survive in the shifting mud of the coastal region. These forests are very dense. Now, the species: Sundari. This is the very important for this area, Sundarban area. They are having Sundari trees. So according to this tree name, they are giving the name of species. The Sundari is very important in this area, and on the name of this tree Sundari, they have given this area's name, the Sundarban Delta. which has been named after it. Its wood is very hard, strong, and durable, and it is used for the boat building. And some important species for other species are in this area are Gorgon and Hintar, which are which are provide fuel for the household. And other include Kiora, Agar, and Rhizophora. Now the Castorena trees are also used for the fuel. This is existed in this area. Now the relationship between relief and the climate, particularly rain, in determining natural vegetation modification by the man. So here are the points. The first is distribution of natural vegetation is closely related to the relief and rainfall as seen from the various example. Then dense evergreen forests are also found in the areas of very high rainfall and thorny desert vegetation in the areas of very scanty rainfall. If we see relief, rainfall and vegetation mapped together, the relation between the three is striking. Since they are interrelated, it is evident that the cutting down or depletion of forests will have direct impact on the environment of the country. And natural vegetation and its products play a very important role in a nation's economy. Now, the importance of forest resources on our natural wealth. The term natural resources means the collective wealth of a country, and forests are one of the most important and natural resources of our country, as they are giving the fuel, the timber, woods for furniture. All these things we are getting from the forest area, and all the basic needs, which are fruits, vegetables, they are responsible for that. Now, unfortunately, although it is said that the land under forest in our country is 21%, and the effective forest cover as revealed by all kinds of survey is hardly between 12 to 14%. And this is a consequence of indiscriminate cutting down of the trees due to the jhuming, that is a slash or burn. We already discussed the jhuming method in lower classes. What is a jhuming process? In jhuming process, they are clearing the land, and on that land they are doing cultivation for some time. When the land gets barren, after that they are shifting on the other part of forest. They are clearing the area of forest, some part of area, for the cultivation purpose. But when that land becomes barren, they are shifted toward the other part of forest area. That is a jhuming process. Due to that, they are creating the barren area in the forest region. So that is not good. They are cutting down trees. There is also uncontrollable and at times unauthorized cutting down of trees by the unscrupulous timber of trade. Then the depletion of forest cover is termed as the deforestation. I forgot that thing. That jhuming process is commonly happen in the Assam area. Now, preventive measures. How we can prevent this type of cutting of trees to revitalize our forest cover? Systematic preventive measures should be taken, and these measures will help in maintaining the most essential ecological balance is required to protect our forest area or environment and endangered wildlife. These are the government authorized implemented to conserve our forests. The first one is Van Mahotsav program. This started by Indian government in the year 1950. This is a Van Mahotsav program, but according to that, they are organizing or supposed to plant trees in the month of July and August. Next is afforestation. That is another scheme which has been adopted is afforestation. Under this scheme, a program has been proposed to plant trees in Rajasthan, West Uttar Pradesh and Kutch desert to prevent soil erosion. Then reforestation. This is another program. This is for the slash and burn or the jhuming practice has been banned in the northeastern India. And indiscriminate cutting of trees without bothering about the depletion of forest cover is still very common. Now, this has been resulted in several problems connected with the soil erosion. To resolve this problem, Government of India has started a program under which two saplings are planted for every felled tree. This is known as the reforestation. Reforestation means if you will cut one tree, after that you have to plant two trees instead of that one tree. A classic NGO approach to save the trees is the Bahugunas Chipko movement of 1974. I thought you have heard about this movement in your history. So, by the movement of Rainy in North India, where they have rescued the trees at the cost of their own life. And this is a living example of general public awareness, which has become a widespread movement in the country. And it is a commonable process to conserve forest. Now, what is a forest conservation? Forest conservation means to protect or to conserve forest area or forest resources. That is the forest conservation, so that the essential services can go on, or the survival of plants and animal species can be exist on the earth. So here are the some steps for forest conservation. First is afforestation, that is a planting trees. Planting trees along the road, railway line, river and canal banks. Development of green belts in the urban areas. Deforestation for the sake of agriculture should be banned. And in 1974, the government of Rainy protested against the felling of trees, and they threatened to hug the trees if they were cut down. Then industry should adopt anti-pollution devices and plant trees around them, so that the industrial pollution or the industrial smoke can be absorbed by trees. Then shifting cultivation or slash and burn type of agriculture should be gradually banned. Then scientific methods should be adopted to check and stop forest fire. People should be encouraged to participate in Van Mahotsav. There is a need to change our outlook towards forest. Our forest should not be threatened as the perennial resources. Hence, the planning and conservation of trees is not only the duty of the government but also that of all the citizens of the country. Now, the conservation of forest. Here are the government programs. This is very important, and you have to deep study of this paragraph. If you will get, you have to read it by your own. If you will get any query, you can ask me through comment section. And these are the forest products and their uses. You already commonly read in this chapter and previously also in previous syllabus. If you will get any query, you can ask me your question in through comment section. I hope you like it. After that, this is the content analysis for all those types which we discussed in this chapter. You can go through it and you can get all the question answers from this area. I hope you understand it. Thank you.